Hello everyone and welcome back once again to the Grand Campaign of 1940. It's May the 11th and we're in the second mission, Albert Canal. I'll be quick, Herr General. Time is of the essence. Control of the recently completed Albert Canal is critical to our advance through the Low Countries. High Command knows this, but so do our enemies. Your objective is to secure all crossings on the Albert Canal on your path towards Antwerp. Be warned, you should expect counterattacks from newly mobilized French, British, Belgian and Dutch forces, but their efforts should be fairly sporadic and uncoordinated. Advance with haste. There's trouble brewing at the Dutch seat of government that may require your presence soon. Okay, let's go to the deployment screen. Alright, here in the deployment screen for Albert Canal, the second mission of the Grand Campaign 1940. After successfully breaking through at the Albert... Alright, wow. After successfully breaking through at the fortress of Eben-Emael and crossing the Meuse River, we have quite a different mission here. Yeah, this is gonna be somewhat longer than the previous one, which was 15 turns. This one 21. And this map is also quite a bit substantially larger. We only get to deploy one extra unit. And I think this is gonna be another tight race on the clock, just like the previous one, although this one might be even more so. Yeah, the big dividing feature of this map is of course the Albert Canal itself, which practically divides the map into two parts, the northeastern part and the southwestern half of the map. All the way down south, in the southwest, we have Brussels, and if memory serves correctly, that should be nearly empty and therefore ripe for the picking if we do have the option. And will definitely try to send a detachment to take Brussels itself. But of course the most important string of objectives all along the Albert Canal, with the crown jewel or the grand prize of this map being Antwerp, all the way in the northwest. Let's repair the units first. I would like to stay above 2 stars as I discussed previously, so that means that quite a couple of my units are going to get elite replacements, because I have many troops which actually are not over 2 stars anyway. And yeah, that means that they still have a bit of experience gathering to do. The experience cap is 325, so they could technically actually get the 3 stars of experience. I think 3 stars might not be necessary, also quite costly. But I definitely want to keep them at 2 stars. Especially because we have so little artillery that I really need these guys to benefit from that initiative boost that they get from having more stars of experience. I don't remember 100% how the bonus for the units is calculated when it comes to the initiative. It does have to do with the amount of stars. If I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna check up on that once again after I'm done with this battle, because that is critical in how you play this campaign. It's just your knowledge of how to maintain your army, really, is very important. Last mission, I deployed the 7th Panzer Division, so I think it's time for a bit of a switch up. Well, the one problem here is that at that point I can't deploy Oladier. And that's actually something that I had not thought about before, because yeah, we do have the 1st Schutzen Regiment, or the 1st Schutzen Regiment already with one of the Grenadiers, and we also have, of course, Oladier, which is then in the other Panzer division. And once we get to deploy more troops, that becomes less of a problem, because I'll be deploying 2 divisions anyhow. But when we have less units to deploy, like for example here we only have 20, that actually might be an issue. And a pretty big one, because I do need Oladier for this. At first I had half a mind of actually splitting up my units and making kind of like a portion of the 7th Panzer Division and a portion of the 1st Panzer Division on both sides of the Canal, mostly in order to kind of get 4 artillery on this map, but that would be a bit unfair, I think. Maybe I'll just deploy Oladier anyway, and I'll just deploy 2 Grenadiers on this map. I'll see. It's I'm not clear on that yet. Either way, what I do want to start out with on this map is I want to get 3 fighters, actually. None of my fighters got any heroes so far. And well, I'm not saying... I actually don't remember when these guys did get their first hero. Yeah, I don't really remember that. Alright, let's deploy a second one up here. We have less space up here than down here, and I do want to get the 88s out as well on this map. They're now 2 stars of experience. And that's pretty nice. Let's leave that for now. So, if we are actually going for the 1st Panzer Division, I am going to... Alright, back here. I had some issue with my sound for a bit, so that's why I had to step away there for a second, but I took care of it. Either way, I get to deploy the 73rd Artillery Regiment, and just like I did the previous mission, I'm gonna split up my forces into 2 different groups, and one group will get 1 artillery and Oladier. The other group will get 2 artillery and they don't get Oladier. I think Oladier might be better suited in the north. I think the space is more tight, whereas this is more open terrain, and I kind of think I need more artillery down in the south because of that. Yeah, it's always a struggle, I guess, when it comes to artillery. Now, for that first part, what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to deploy these guys in the Pioneers. I really want to get these guys to 2 stars of experience as well. The other artillery, the Sturmpanzer, I'll be deploying that. I would like to have that along the road as well. Sturmpanzer, here we are. So then the other artillery, this is most likely empty. If I can deploy my units right next to it, I cannot imagine there actually being a unit in there that might stop me. Let's deploy, for now at least, these guys, I think, down here. As for the recon, I believe that's going to be number 4 here. I can hardly imagine. Yeah, that's going to be 4. I will not have Albert Kircher then. because he's in the other division. That's also one of the, I guess, factors that you have to take into consideration. Actually, yeah, it used to be that I always had Oladier, at least, and then sometimes Albert Kirscher in the Panzer T-38. But I would kind of have neither here. No, you need to move along the road. And I will have them actually down here because, again, this is more open space and this is more tightly confined. Let's get Oladier at least. Alright, I need the first and... Let's see. I need at least the first Schützen regiment, which is 3 infantry. Let's see, where are you? And the Grenadiers. So then I have... Yeah, I can pretty much do this. So then I have 1 Grenadier on both sides and 2 infantry as well. So a total of 3 infantry both up and down. And then I only have to deploy the tanks now. And that's gonna be Panzer Regiment 1. So I have the Panzer 3F down here and the Panzerjäger. And I guess let's switch these two up. So Panzer 1, Panzer 3, and then here Panzer 1 and the Panzerjäger. Had I had the Panzer 4, I could have already deployed that. But I don't. So this is what I'm gonna be stuck with. Yeah, this I do have the 88s as well. I suppose then, indeed, I am going to deploy these down here. Yeah, that is... let's put you in here, and then I will actually put them... if I put them here, that's not too useful, because these guys will act as Panzerjäger-ish unit anyway. And then I will deploy 3 bombers, or 3 more air units at the very least. First of all, this one, then Helmut Lent, and I'm going to deploy the Dornier 17Z on this one. Been deploying the Heinkel 111 often enough, so should be fine. Alright, 2 evenly divided forces. I haven't talked about how I'm going to approach this, so mainly the way I'm going to tackle this is these forces are gonna try and take as many cities here as possible. They probably will have to split up a bit over all this terrain, which is not ideal. I might try to keep them as a focused group. First off, quick spin off towards Sint-Truiden, and then move up here, take these 2 as a full force, and then probably once there, small detachment to take these 2, but most of the force will then continue on towards Mechelen and Brussels, and then try to swing up north. As for these forces, kind of exactly the same. They're going to move up north here. as a full force trying to take Rommel and Mol, but also detachment trying to take this airfield and Weert, and then as a full force trying to move into the west, taking off the rest of those places. This is gonna be a tricky one, just like the previous one, but I do like the challenge. Last one did go fairly well, and I'm quite happy about that. Last minute change, because I do see that I have actual flak here down here already. That does mean that I want to switch these up. I do think so. I have to make a few changes to my composition. And I have to take the right up tile. Okay, perfect. Let's get ready to rumble. And this is the city of Maastricht that we took in the previous mission. Fair enough. Okay, so this is already taken for a bit. Can move here and then still move. Okay, so they have more units down here than I thought initially. Since I will focus my units around this area, well, really, they did actually have a unit there. It has 1 ammo only. They are actually slightly entrenched. And I could use Olidier to take that out without any trouble, so I'd rather shell this. And I guess it's ripe for the taking. I can also do a bit of scouting. I don't expect many units to come from here, but definitely from here they might counterattack from this side or from this side, but because this is the edge of the map, it's much less likely. And use the Panzer 1 to take it. So it would probably be pretty nice to destroy this already, but if they have anti-aircraft guns around here, I will be in trouble, so I'm inclined not to do it just yet. Yeah, the enemy can see these 2 units, but that also means that they might be pretty good for a fighter trap if they already have a fighter here somewhere. But I'll use my ground forces first for good measure. Although I will very likely put a fighter in this hex down here. So I think bombing first is not out of the question. Just to get those entrenchment levels a little bit lower. One unfortunate thing here though is that, well, they will get pushed around, and well, there's little I can do about that now. They got pushed here. Of course, my units are positioned as such that they can't really deal with that properly. So, moving the Panzerjäger here. Wait, technically I can do it like this probably. Attack, they get pushed back. Then if I move in here, these guys have a spotting of 1. So that would mean that they don't get spotted. But I'll move them just slightly further away from that anyway, just to be safe. These guys will likely try to attack in here. And since they can already see these, I think they will likely go after the Panzer. Just putting my units in position here. To destroy these guys on the next turn. Yeah, you can move out here. Should work out fine. Don't think they can see it. And otherwise we still have the artillery as backup. Staying down here with the bomber for the first turn. Might be a pretty decent idea, especially since I have no indication what's out there. That might allow me to put another fighter trap, and I do need to protect these as well. I think then we can say that they would go here or here to bomb. Yeah, I'd rather have you here then. Keep these in the back. And you know, Helmut Land is good, but not so good that he can go after fight on its own. So, our enemy fighters at least. Okay, that's not the end. Just got nicked for 1, but it's doable. And I do have a pretty good shot at these now. Maybe I got lucky, finished them off in one go. Almost. Yeah, I suspected those would repair. Let's see though. Probably. I would like to get these into this hex here. And I can do that by attacking them from the south. So then these are the only units I can push in there. I know they have another 5 strength unit in there. So then they'll get pushed around back to 4. And placing the grenadiers here should then finish them off after they get pushed in there. Probably get to attack without taking any hits. The mass attack bonus, but that didn't materialize unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to use another unit. And I guess at that point that's gonna be the pioneers. I think I get a clean shot in there. 17%. Let's go. Okay, so that was at least a clean hit. I have some units left, but I doubt I'll have the ability to take these guys down full force. Maybe, but it's gonna be pretty tricky at that point. If I get these down to... Probably don't get them down to lower size. Up here, I don't have mobile artillery, so I have to be a bit more careful where I'm placing my units, especially if they're gonna counterattack. Might be in serious danger. Keeping the Panzers up front. Yeah, I can already see that such attacks might become pretty dangerous. But there's also an opportunity here, I think. So let's move you around here. Well, there goes the opportunity. So the idea was to weaken this and then use the recon with the artillery to make these guys surrender, and then destroy the enemy artillery as well. That was the idea. However, my plan got thwarted when I got that crazy hit and damaged it for a lot more than I might have initially hoped for. Such things happen, of course, but that is rather unfortunate because, well, that was my plan. However, we do now know that it's impossible for them to have anti... you're range 3, yes. For them to have anti-aircraft fire on this side. So, well, they could have it on these guys, but not over here. I think maybe it would be range 3. I don't think they have range 3 anti-aircraft guns. I think it's only range 2. Well, it's gonna be pretty dicey. I'm gonna use the anti-aircraft gun first, of course. What could I do? So there's no way I'm gonna make a surrender here now because they're always gonna get pushed up there. I can lock them pretty tight up here, but I do want Oladir to move up actually. And form a guard against these. I don't want to attack this because this is fairly weak, and this way, oh, I might even make a decent surrender. So I think what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna just move you up with the artillery. Shell that. Now, I don't... Just push in here. If I attack, they get pushed up in there, and then I can attack again. My goal is to make these guys surrender. Then I'm gonna just attack here, causing a lot of damage, potentially destroying that on the next turn. guys will retreat there, which is not a problem. Actually, maybe better to just leave them in the air, let them repair again. Not take the risk of running into anti-aircraft guns. That might be a bit strange, but for them to use their prestige in that way is good for me. And might just be what I'm going for here. So I'm placing it here to protect the tanks in case they have any bombers anyway. I will also finish off the Belgian fighter. I'm contemplating. So bomb for 2, artillery for 2, makes 4. This makes 6, 8. It's not enough. I have you for 8. So maybe better off just trying to deal some damage. Lowering their entrenchments, making sure I can take that on the next turn with just the infantry. I'm keeping the recon close, even though it's supposedly part of the south, because I might use it in order to make these surrender. As for these, though, I mean, getting in here is not useful at all. Neither is moving up here. Getting it under coverage of anti-aircraft guns is not bad, though. And moving these up closer for that purpose as well is also not bad, I think. So even if there's an infantry coming from this side, they can't penetrate these forests and attack from this side. Worst comes to worst, they'll take this airfield back, but moving in here is pretty solid. And that's the last unit. Okay, quite good. They did indeed come from this side, as I predicted. We thwarted another bomber. It's cloudy weather now, though. Let's see what these anti-aircraft guns can do. They actually did not repair their fighter a second time. It's down to 3, it's down to 4. Better go for the fighter. And first here, then here. Significant portion of the enemy air force gone now. They did come up with this recon as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have movement of 5, so they're never going to be able to surround these. Definitely not. Use the Panzer one to take the airfield and beat the artillery back. Or better yet, make it surrender like that. Probably get to do the same with the Dutch infantry here without using the artillery attack. I think that's very likely to be the outcome. I'm getting 1 prestige for it. The Panhard is a bit of a burden, but not too much. I'll need to shift my forces towards this side, the Dutch infantry. But I think, yeah, the clouder is weather is cloudy. That makes it difficult. I do have all the deer potentially attacking, but this, I need to get the artillery into this spot. And I can't. This is a bit risky because I could technically finish this off if I'm lucky. So them alone, they wouldn't cut it, and it's also not a viable option. Now, let's add these into the mix. And alright, that is really unfortunate. Now I'm gonna have to try and do this anyway. Very dangerous operation now. Don't like that at all, but I like units retreating back or getting back up to full strength even more. So on the assumption as well that I've already seen quite a few bombers on this turn, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and hope that there will not be any fighters at least for 1 turn here. But I need to keep up the pressure by destroying these units one by one. I even need to put a recon here, technically. Or, oh no, I can use these to move out there. Okay, perfect. Destroy the AT gun. Move in here, perfect coverage. They might actually even try to attack the Flakvierling, or they're gonna take the airfield. One of the two. Did you use any movement? It doesn't look like it. 1, 2. Don't think it would be appropriate here to take this and then move back, no matter what units they have. It's probably too dangerous. Would like to use my bombers, but really only in on a clear day. Don't think it is very suitable on a day like now. Next day will be a good weather. So at the very least I'm gonna... No, I still have to watch out for anti-aircraft. So if they have anti-aircraft here and it has range of 3 is here. 1, 2, 3. So let's wait for a bit. Well, let's see here. What do I need to protect? At the very least my artillery, which is going to be here on next turn. Up here. So... just move in here then. It's also the only unit that can attack down there. No matter... yeah, I could... the only position where I can technically move them is here then. I mean, unless I attack... but these are already not very good. And there seems to be more units coming. Definitely moving you down though. What I might even do is switch them up like this, so if they think they can get around here, they might get into an ambush there. Or get stuck. Not a whole lot else. Moving down should be fine for now, though. Kind of want to see what's down there too. Not the greatest of turns. However, I think I can get some clean hits in here. Maybe some decent surrenders indeed. And I have to do that with a little bit less artillery than I would be used to. But hey. Okay, that was nice. Pretty nice, actually. And that's, yeah, they do have quite a bit of cavalry down there. So this guy's now there. They took back their stupid airfield. I'm happy for them. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Is it actually as good as I think it is? Might just as well be. Again, I'm looking at a surrender here. And basically the way this is destined to go, I'm gonna attack. They're going to be pushed in here. Or I'm gonna attack. They're gonna be pushed in here, and then I'll try to destroy them with this. I need another unit to go in here specifically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I have a better idea. So attack here. Finish that off. If I could... Oh, I can move you around. Okay, that's much better even. They would retreat. But I need to deal good damage to the Hotchkiss in order not to get overwhelmed by it on this turn. And yeah, that maybe they'll stay on that hex. No, definitely they won't now. Yeah, that cavalry is a lost cause for now. Unless I get to shell it with the artillery. But then I would lose my chance to use artillery on these. Which it would not be the end of the world. Maybe I can bomb it. Let's see what that does. If I get a decent suppression. This might still actually be worth it. But not quite then. Alright. Let's block off this side to the artillery. These guys are exposed. They can be seen by the cavalry, yes. For now. But I aim to take out that cavalry. And they still have this one, so I guess it could be seen by that. I have a vision of 2. Okay, so no way for any fancy shenanigans. These guys won't get destroyed. No sense in trying. Getting it started so well. What are the odds, huh? Not that high. And again, I can't really follow that up. Yeah. What is your range then? 2. Okay. Now we figured it out. I guess they can go after this one, then they might stay on there. That would be the best solution for me. If they're gonna occupy this, I can destroy them at least with the anti-aircraft gun. Yeah, like I said, it started very well, but then indeed trying to finish that off, I took just one too many hits on my units. And taking 3 damage from that is really, really bad. They could bomb here. Might be a trap for me if I put it like this. Yeah. Surprised they left that out in the open, but I guess they did. Cloudy weather. Gonna have to focus a bit though. Maybe just getting ammo for you is for the better at the moment. Really? Nothing? There doesn't seem to be much out there. But I don't want to take the risk and expose myself too much. Well, let's see here. Maybe I should not have attacked there with Oladir already. But I'd like to spend that ammo. That was pretty much the big idea. If I push them in here, I can push them out here. Wow. Sure. Again, taking a bit of a risk, but I think they won't be able to see me here. And that does secure my objectives nicely. Still need to retake that airfield. So I cannot see any of these guys. My assumption here let's just go. Uh-oh. Well, there goes the neighborhood. Guess that's kind of my whole plan ruined right there. Now I'm gonna have to cover these. The only other thing I can technically do is offer up the flak for the Panzer regiment. But they'll be entrenched. Yeah, it's just too much. Seeing that 2nd Infantry kind of made me wish I did, though. Oh, they did not move. It's the same Dutch infantry that was out there, too. They're going for the Canal. Oh, I am super relieved that these guys did not go out and attack here. That is my absolute luckiest I can get. And now I'll deal with the Dutch. Put my armored units in there. It's fairly useless otherwise. I already wasted quite many a turn dealing with their attacks. So I really do hope to be able to go into top gear now. And rightfully so. Okay. Since I did take that, this is empty. I have to say I'm a bit confused about that. So they can move pretty far, but because I don't have any spotting out here, I'll just move up there, take that. Just moving straight up would be such a risk. But I think so these are not seen at all. Only units that will be seen around here. So I probably will be able to do with one fighter. Okay, so the British are up here. Likelihood the Dutch will come out are low. So worst thing would be if there would be a unit here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can position myself in a pretty good way if I do this and move here. It's a pretty risky maneuver because basically what I'm going to try and do is attack here, then shell, move this here and these guys over here. And move forward like that. But like I said, that presupposes there's not going to be any attack from here. Can try to block that off at least with the flak vierling. If they come from here, then that would protect that region. Although it's still very risky. Just have to assume that there won't be an attack pretty much for one turn here. Well, I think that's relatively legit. So as for the 3 objectives only, so 1, 2, 3. So I guess getting for a minor victory, it's pretty easy here. Real difficulty comes from the decisive. Might still be able to lure the enemy. I'm actually gonna try and do that, because so many of my units are out of ammo and such, and I think they would get in a good position, and this is, I think, also quite good for an ambush, just like this one. Shame, could hardly anything be done about it. That's lucky. So they did come with their counterattack. I know now, lucky to even make it out of there alive like this. Wow. Well, I've forgotten most of the enemy positions, etc. So I'm not playing 100% blind, but I almost might as well just be. Almost. But not quite, of course. Yeah, I'm getting no prestige for taking that back. I kinda secretly hoped I would. You're not gonna take down that Potas, but you will. Okay, 3 enemy infantry bearing on me. I would probably do well try to target this one first. Because this push it up. Recon shouldn't be seen, but it might be that this here unit is going to come out and come after me. 1, 2, 3. So these units cannot target this artillery from that side. In fact, they wouldn't even be able to get up here. It's very likely that this unit will try to reach this and then attack. Well, I'm not gonna let that go. So he does not have any anti-aircraft, and I don't think there will be. My best position here would be if it gets turned back, but that's not likely to happen. I would have to move the grenadiers out in the open, and I think they're already quite exposed. Were I to attack the cruiser, I think a good option would be to bomb it. They can fend on their own, and they would probably not be visible. I can push it further to the back. First, try to finish it off with the fighter. Then work. Let's I do have this option. Pushing forward with the infantry. And moving just a little bit to the back here. Because they can't see the artillery, this will likely prompt a attack from that British infantry. Let's pull you to the back. Trying to do a little bit of damage where I can. This is probably pretty decent, and can put the fighter in here. Still have you, luckily. If they're gonna go, they're probably gonna take that, and yeah, I don't see them attacking on this. In this region, maybe they'll go up here. I think moving in here is not too shabby. But as for you, yeah, moving. Moving like this is not ideal. Really? Is this really a good attack? No. Well, let's just leave them. More enemy counteroffensives. What am I gonna do? What am I going to do? With the cloudy weather, again, this is far from ideal. This will push them out there, but what good will that really do? Now, probably moving in here. Okay, come on. Good. Need to reform around this area for a bit, and with these guys coming, I think that will be necessary. What's your movement? 5. Odds are well, first of all, they can't see those. So they're obviously not going to move through here, but through here if they're going to move a unit at all. And I think moving like this is totally fine. Pretty good defensive line at whatever they might throw at me. This is anti-aircraft for these guys, and they aren't seen. So that should work. So okay, let's shell this and attack again. Thing is, I think moving older deer over in here might just be a bit too much. Although if I'm shifting my forces, you're going here. There's practically nothing in the way of them attacking older deer over and over again. I know that the odds are pretty well in my favor against any unit they throw at me, but if they gang up on me from all sides, really, I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna risk it. Let's just see what the odds are. Yeah. I took a little bit more damage than I might have wanted, but it still went relatively smoothly. Block them off from this side so they can't go up and attack that artillery as well. Artillery is pretty low on ammunition. One thing I can do here is move them here, because then they're not inclined to attack here, but only on these. And then I'll move you around to this side, and then just they can see the artillery, so I hope they'll leave that alone. They might not. I could also put this flak fueling here to draw away the attention of at least one of their units. Let's go and refuel. Maybe they'll put a fighter to attack this bomber. We'll be in for a nasty surprise. Wow. Excellent. Okay. Maybe a bit less excellent there. Turn 9 already. What are your advances so far? Nothing. Yeah, that's what it boils down to for now. Do I really have a good initiative? Yes, I do. Quite a big bonus. Still using this and this. Let's take a look here. My odds now are a lot better than they were before. And yeah, this cavalry is threatening my rear, but at least I know about that. Let's think. I would not like to waste anything. Maybe taking out the cavalry preemptively is the better idea here. There we go. Pretty good. Still have these two infantry to deal with, but once those are out of the way, I think the path is clear once again to start moving. I don't know where the enemy units will be, but I think we're on the right track. I might be able to make them surrender. $10-3. I'll wait for a bit. Yeah, there's not going to be any surrendering from my side. Because they're out of ammo, I'm in a bit of a pinch. And which air units do I have left? Not too many. So attacking will force them into this hex, but that doesn't do anything for me. But I can shell it again and then destroy them. At least push them back again and maybe now destroy them. These guys should not be seen by that point. I hope, otherwise I'll be in a world of hurt. They can't go down because that's 4 movement. And I will again push them back because then they will again try to attack into this. And yeah, they cannot see that. Vision of 1. Risky movement. But this hopefully works out. Will allow me to deal a bit more damage down here because I'm already very low on damage on this side. Have to protect the bomber as well. So let's pull back. And I'm gonna do a bit of scouting here. This is empty. This probably isn't. They didn't go for it. But for the recon. At least the weather is still good. That's nice. They even have the artillery. Well, I think I'm probably gonna leave them alone then. Taking this airfield is fine, but then taking the city is probably gonna take too much time, and I don't want to waste it. So now you have to get back to full. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I cannot force the take this over and then move back. No, not even there. Okay, and since I can't protect it with artillery, there's no reason for me to try and do that. If they go in here, they see the artillery. I mean, I'm fine keeping the Panzerjäger on this side. So Now, why does that never work? I know there's another unit out there. It's way too risky. At some point, I kind of have to give up on... Okay, this is not my turn. Not at all. They're gonna get pushed by them. They're gonna move in here. And... unfortunately, I don't have anything to push them with. And so I might just as well keep them here. They cannot replenish. I don't have any artillery, but yeah. Since I need to keep these guys here, I might just as well try and give this another shot. Right. Scouting like this for a bit. One, two, three. Okay, I have to hand it to them. That was not bad at all. But I do really need to hurry now. I have 10 more turns left, and well, to be frank, my progress so far has been mediocre. Attacking here, I think surprisingly will actually force it up here. I always thought they go to the right, but they can't. Neither here. Or they go here. Either way, if I attack from this side, they'll be forced down. That unit is gone. Okay, that makes me very much interested in trying to take that. I feel the likelihood of there being anti-aircraft gun being really big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can scout there on the next turn. No need to concern myself with that this turn. Really? Just unbelievable. There is bad weather. This will push him down. Or up, which is a lot better. This is another instance where the attack actually is not as great as you would think it is. 4 times 12% chance is a pretty high chance of dealing damage to me. Whereas this is 3 times 12, that's a lot less. But I kind of need these to push back up, and let's do that. Question is, how much bad luck can you possibly get? Quite a lot, apparently. I mean, you're gonna burn out your army this way real fast. Neither of these can reach there, so I have no air units operational during this turn. Let's just see how this connects. Basically, well, one of the toughest things personally I find when things go like this is that you have to try not to tilt and start making bad decisions based on whether you are lucky or unlucky. So in this case, I need to try and really focus not on the fact that you're getting damage, but on making the right plays in the game, because it's very easy now to start making bad decisions, start acting rashly, and things like that. And that's exactly what I need to prevent right now. Regain focus and keep going. Because like I said, otherwise you're gonna make even more mistakes. And that's gonna be even worse for you. So in this case, I should have, for example, already used the fighter beforehand, but I did not. And that was, again, that's a mistake that I should not be making. Using the bomber. Thing is, first of all, now at this point, I don't know whether enemy units up here. I can't protect my unit, so that's tough regardless. I can scout it out. I think. Oh no, you don't have the ability to. Now. It seems to be empty, but I need these to regain ammo. Meaning I also cannot really push on there. I don't think there will be any other units up there. But... I'd rather take a defensive position here. Start hitting those forward positions. Basically, there's nothing left, at least up all the way there. Just like I don't have any infantry to take that down. As much as I might want to attack this from here, the question is, how likely am I going to be able to take it? And I think the answer to that is not very likely. What I can do, because I'm actually quite sure they won't be able to see anything like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. I'll probably send these two back up in order to help out there. Let's just move you along the road. And they can move here, because then I'll just fix them the next turn, and afterwards they can attack. So I guess finally moving forward. If there's anything here, I can lure it out with these guys. Any forward airfields that I have under my control? No. Nothing, huh? Weather is good. Still taking that airfield. That's giving me a ton of prestige. So I can land here at least. And there are no other forward airfields that I could take, except this one on the next turn, but I can't technically move here and then back. So I'll actually be much obliged to do so. If I have a full suppression here, which I did not, I would have been able to attack. Still don't think this will work. No, it will not. Fine, I'll just move a little bit closer for now. Surprisingly empty. Right, so you're not attacking. I do have these. What are the odds of them having anti-aircraft right up here? Let's find out. Not too high, apparently. And I'm gonna take advantage of that. Of course. Okay. So an auxiliary unit, I definitely don't need to waste anything attacking here, and it won't retreat. Guess I will anyway. So I do have these, and if I position the artillery well, and use the recon proper, I might actually be able to take these guys down faster. Refuel you. The other bomber was exactly here. Take it. And they have enough ammo to be able to hold that position, so they can definitely hold out there. Question is though, what I'm gonna do with the rest of my units. So they have apparently at least a tank there. Now, I have a few of my own tanks. Sure enough, they're not likely to see these, and I want to sneak up the artillery. So their bombers here, and then I'm gonna move you here and you here. So what are they likely to target? Well, first of all, because the other bomber, they have a vision of one. Okay. That makes it even more interesting. That's likely then going to be the Panzer II. And since I think this one might retreat then, and then this one will try to go and bomb this. I will cover you here. And I'm gonna pray they don't have any fighters. That's what I'm gonna hope for. Probably might not be able to get around. Okay, I don't like this weather. It's quite bad. So I really need to start getting my units up because I'm getting out of time. Yeah. So nice bomber hit. And come on, oh, that's perfect. Push them in there. And cleanup duty for the infantry. It's fine. Position myself here, blocking at the very least the river crossing. Since I already hold the other one, I don't have to worry there. Let's see up here though. This is a dangerous situation. like the infantry up here. What I don't like even more though is damage that way. Silly game. Silly game. What are you doing to me? Nope. I've only one choice now, and that's to block off its chance to repair. Which is, as you might suspect, far from ideal. One, two, three, four, five. No. Okay, next turn I can attack these guys as well, and then closing in time. Please don't move back. Ooh, good weather. I like that. Okay, I will, I guess, have to shell them again because this is just no good. And okay. This is really so good. No, it's not. Yeah, I'll move in here. I definitely will have to scout in order to see whether I can actually make that. So it's fine. How bad are these odds? Supposedly pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty mauled here. Already. So... that's right. Better to start hurrying up. This is 50 prestige and I will take it. Push them in there. And I will use the bomber. So, at that point, just one step closer. I think they're very likely to try and bomb these, and yeah, unfortunately because of this I don't have any fighters. Maybe they'll try to go for the artillery, but I'm feeling a... ah, yes, okay. Maybe better. Hit of one. I don't like it when it takes this long, because then they're very likely buying units. And that is never good. Can we stop getting rugged defense on this guy? Okay, maybe, just maybe, I will have another fighter available. I will. Well, having to move back all the way to that airfield is pretty disappointing. Technically, I might be able to take this airfield on the next turn, but... I think that's a risky one. let's start digging them out. So, yeah, getting a bombing hit in there is impossible. How they get entrenched to that level is beyond me. I know, maybe that was just a bad play. Yeah, if I would have moved these guys here, I would have been able to attack that Belgian infantry. That might have worked a lot better. Now I'm kind of holed up in here. Kind of inclined to attack. 3 times 19, we have 9 times 35. Let's go for it. Okay, at least it was a relatively free attack. There we go. Okay. Brussels will be taken. That's what it was all about. Okay, so maybe... I can get into a double attack. Fair enough. Okay, let's see what's out there. Chock full of enemy units, of course. 3 turns to dig them out. Might as well start with the anti-aircraft. Of course, they can keep building there too. And it's going to cause some problems for me. Okay. I'll gladly take it even with them. The thing I dislike the most is that. So... Oh. No, that's definitely not what I want here. Let's refuel you. So they're ready to strike on the next turn. And okay. Take that last part. You need to regain fuel and ammo. They still have 2 turns after that in which they can do things. There's one thing I can try here, which is, I think, quite tricky. So let's hope they are fully suppressed. Yeah, 6 out of 6. Now I have some bombing options for them. These are still here. Yes. Well, let's dig these out first. Yeah, I need these to move here. I think even then they cannot move into the swamp, so it'll probably not work out the way I want it to. But I'm swarming that. Now I will attack that artillery. Yeah, let's move you here. You up. If only I had a way to beat these guys now. Sadly, I don't. You'll move here. Like, again, they could technically buy units and... What can you do? Up here? Yeah, because neither of these guys can get out of the way. Guess I'll have to make do for now. It's gonna be a turn full of hurt. 2 more turns. So... These cannot do anything anymore because next turn they would regain fuel and ammo. So they are practically useless for this upcoming turn at least. Okay, let's hit that thing because that will allow me to go after that AT gun at that point. So for you, only way to go is to go up. I think there might be something here. I would like to go further, but I need to have vision of 2 to get up there, and I just can't. Okay. Nice hit. Then 1 artillery remaining. Will be hard to dig them out as well. They're almost down on their knees. So what if I give them a good whack from this side? This is already not bad. Yeah. Let's suppress you. Probably to the max, and indeed it does. Because that allows me to attack here. Indeed, take a hit. That didn't work entirely as I had hoped. Let's try the recon. But that did. Why was that so important? Well, so I can completely fail at attacking this thing and still suffer damage. Yeah, that was exactly what I was gunning for. Alright, guess that's gonna be it. I mean, I don't have any more planes out here that could do anything. Nope, I'll have to leave it to the next turn. And that means that they're gonna buy again a whole lot of units. But they have only 1 anti-aircraft unit. Now, if my hits would actually be able to accomplish something. That'd be nice, but better be fully suppressed. It is. So now I have to go after this infantry. Recon will be fine, I think. Because I will at least have some artillery backup. And here as well. Do I? Yeah, I do have some fighter here, so. Taking the British airfield. And now we'll just have to wait out the turn. And that was it. So I wasn't able to take those last two parts of Antwerp. It's really unfortunate because it's so tough to get all the way back there in order to make sure that they can no longer buy any units. Overall, I think it went fairly okay. I was at least able to take Brussels. I think definitely going for these is a bit too far-fetched. Now, if I was not playing with historical unit composition, then I would have gone for that, but I sadly didn't. I have to say that during the first part of the mission, I think everything went very, very well, but at some point I just started racking up hits left and right, just one here, one there, all the time pretty much, and eventually that did cost me quite a bit in unit strength. So I have quite a few units which are down to 60-50%. And then of course my artillery also got hit here and there. My air force is largely unscathed, but I don't really care about those because I can usually give them regular replacements anyway. And that's why I think that replacements after this one might be a bit costly. I'll see though. I mean, I think it went reasonable. Not one of my worst plays, but yeah, just like I said, those constant nicks did really get me, because for example at some point here, you know, I'd used 3 units to try and defeat one other unit and I took 3 damage in the process, just each unit 1. And yeah, even though each individual enemy attack might be only like 10% or 8%, maybe 15, you know, if you're getting hit that much, it's bound to hurt. Well, I got the decisive victory anyway, so that was all that matters. Let's take a look at the briefing. With the Albert Canal secure and all Allied efforts to recapture or destroy its crossing smashed, the ability of the Dutch and Belgians to resist is rapidly disintegrating. Well done, Herr General. There's no time for celebration now. Continue your advance. And that I will. Gonna wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this episode, and see you all next time. Take care. Bye bye.